functional for the children, because he want her to be at peak performance if he love her and he love his family. And to keep her at peak performance, he have to make sure she have a stand-up solid sister group that's not gonna have her out there on BS when she going for me time. You know, they can do stuff together with her to get her out of the house, get her away from the children, make her tend to herself some, take her on spa day, you know what I'm saying? Or one of them just might have a chill pad, right? But you need your sister group so that you can be forced by your team, because it'll make it easier for you to adhere to your self-care. That they call it peer pressure support. So you using your team of sisters, y'all. This is what the Califia queens used to teach all of the priestesses and the daughters to the chiefs across the land. That's why they had the women's resort to teach this stuff, because the settlers came and told the women, they turned them against each other so that they can break up the sisterhood. They used something called the broken mirror spell, where they broke a mirror on the crossroads and cast a curse on the sisterhood of the priestess of the land to make them be hostile towards each other and not recognize each other. That was a conjure, right? The conjure has been broken the last couple of years because I had to work with the descendant of the person that was responsible and make her break the spell, because it has to be, if the person not here to break their own spell, they have to have a worthy descendant, blood relative, that breaks the spell. And this is how you end up figuring out how to close all of the conjures at a higher level of Hecka magic, by knowing who the descendants is, by the work that they doing in their life. It's going to reveal them. And that's how we was able to close out that Haitian revolutionary conjure, because they sent soldiers to Florida after the French left Haiti. And they sent priestesses and priests to New Orleans. And they was working together using what they call cross-conjure support. The conjurer of the tribes of the land was being spiritually supported by the warring energies that was being taken from Haiti. Haiti is about to have a big breakthrough moment of peace and celebration coming any day now. And this is all going to be based on the new world coming into being. Haiti has been deliberately held last, so they're going to have to be publicly made first.
Okay, got you.
And that's when all of the tribal systems around the world going to start exposing the efforts that they was making to take the land back from the corporations. And all of the time we thought we was fighting each other. We was fighting corporations versus people. It was the zombie apocalypse is to take over a straw man. And we was fighting this conjure war, but most of us was totally oblivious to it, because we only believe in the reading, writing, arithmetic that the 12-gauge step-down detox from critical thinking program called school has conditioned us to accept.
Right.
So yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, sweetie.
I was just going to ask, I watched your video with Young Elder the other day. Oh, that was very, very insightful. Thank y'all so much. And peace to Young Elder as well. For
Shout out to the Young Elder, country boy.
I'm sorry?
I said shout out to Elder, the old country boy.
I was just going to ask in regards to the straw men, and we haven't done any paperwork to say that, you know, I know you were saying something about paperwork, don't worry about it. It's not a fear thing. It's just a better understanding.
Yeah.
So what advice would you have for me on that?
Okay. So the the abandonment of the contract is the refusal to make contracts knowingly in the future and not maintenance in current contracts by signature, right? So you abandon the contract. And if you look it up, it's called the abandonment defense in law. When you discover the fraud, in order not to be categorized as a party to the fraud, you must abandon the fraud entirely and anything that comes with it. It's totally the way that they have the fraud structured. Some people can't get out as easy as others because their life is wrapped into the system parasitically. The system will siphon all of their financial developments off by the fees and fines and taxes and levies and liens. And by the time they get done, the system that sucked all their money out and they don't got nothing to show for it. Now they foreclosing on their properties.
Right.
These were all fraudulent contracts that was ordered to be given to us through the judiciary by means of the Bar Association. That's why when these judges take these titles of nobility, they being knighted. When they knighted as an agent of the crown, then they given a title of nobility to acknowledge their receipt of that title, right? They can't pass the title on to their children because being knighted is called letters patent. Is the standing in their lifetime, they will reap the benefit of the gentry as an honorable, as an esquire, as long as they do the work for the crown. The crown's instructions is in the charter for the first bar. That's called a foundational document. The entirety of the Bar Association is built on King George's proclamation of the Bar Association to issue those titles of nobility for the people that work for the British Crown. Under the barristers over there and over here, they needed a barrister accreditation registry, and it became known as the Bar Association. Once you know what their purpose is, then you can unravel, well, who do they work with? They work with the bankers because they move in such massive amounts of currency that the currency have to be under the security of the judiciary's oversight. So like every court is a ship. And every time you on the ship talking to the judge, you talking to the captain of the ship. And the clerk is the navigator. Because you under Admiralty and Maritime jurisdiction. Before early colonial law, the chiefs used to be able to go in and remove their tribesmen from out of the custody of the corporation because it was a conflict of jurisdiction between the tribal jurisdiction of the land law and the Admiralty jurisdiction of the maritime law.
You're not getting any feedback, are you? Okay, because I hear us, but it's also playing in the background. I just wanted to make sure you okay. I
don't know what that is, man. That's probably them eavesdropping.
That's exactly what I was saying. Unc, it's a pleasure, and I greatly appreciate you and all you do.
You're welcome, sweetie. I'm glad I was able to have a conversation with you.
I love you, and that is from the bottom of my feet. Oh, I love you. I love you. Yes. Every time I know you're going to be on, I haven't even been online watching your videos because it's like something's resisting me. And I just got this message that you were live, and I jumped on and I said, I want to talk to you one day. And I also had sent you a message in January of 23. I was asking for some advice about a situation. I heard you. And I realized I didn't really have to speak with you, but I heard you. I got the message. Everything worked out well for me. I'll put it that way.
I'm glad to hear
And
that,
my
sweetie.
family.
I'm always here. If I can say something that'll encourage, motivate, or inform somebody how to accomplish a goal, I did my service to the people. If I could help
Yeah.
one, and I could have helped more, but most of them thought I was crazy until they started seeing what I was telling them. And the ones that was saying I ain't had no receipts because they was too lazy to go cross-reference the receipt. So they just assume I don't have no references to what I be telling them, but everything that I'm telling them, I got references to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taking you back to who said it, who did it, where they come from, why they came, how many of them came. You know what I'm saying? The lie they told us and all that. I know it all. And I that wasn't my agenda to be on here telling the people how we got tricked, but it was the path of least resistance to use social media. Notice the agent, notice the principal. That's to you eavesdropping motherfuckers that's tapping in down there in Raven Rock, sitting there watching, looking on the big old screen like we don't know you watching. I ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm just telling the people the truth, and you just got to deal with it.
That's right. And free Larry Hoover and made the three kings walk the land. Free everyone under COINTELPRO and made a matriarch be restored. Yes.
And the one law, the great law, and the one
great law. That's
condition,
right.
restore the matriarchy. That's one law, one condition, restore the matriarchy. By giving the earth back to the rightful heirs, heaven returns to earth with the divine feminine. And then all of the women be so much more pleasant to be around.
Ain't that the truth? Just peace and love. Sport stuff is getting old.
Yeah, they don't have to be in war mode no more. But this is why we need those sister groups. So y'all check, all y'all sisters that ain't ever heard me talk about the Goddess Glow Up, go look and investigate. She got video on Instagram and Facebook. Heidi Barble from the Goddess Glow Up do women support groups that help the women be able to deal with each other and heal from the old wounds. She's really good at what she do, and she actually live the lessons that she teach, right? So she tell you how to do what she doing, what worked for her, and then try to help you adjust it to fit your model, right?
Right.
So that was in the army wasn't no slouch. He was putting all of the pieces together. When he got a clip.
And with American Gods, you saw they kicked Buddy off. Orlando, they kicked him off.
Oh yeah,
start dropping too
that's
much.
because of the character that he played. That's the worst motherfucker. That's the nigga that's gonna be telling y'all how to get y'all shit back. They didn't want that character portrayed from that level of self-control, clear, cognizant thought, and deliver such a potent message in media. It's a movie with Cicely Tyson and I think Robin Gibbons. Robin Gibbons tell her that she just don't want to be black, so she try to claim she Indian.
I know which movie you're talking about.
She ad-libbed her response.
She ad-libbed it?
Yep. That was spontaneous. That wasn't in the original script. She stood up and she said, "Look at me. My father was full-blooded Iroquois." Right? And then she went to give another family's message. She also ad-libbed the tail end of that family reunion movie done by Tyler Perry. You got to listen to it. That's a bad motherfucker.
I gotta go back and watch it. I gotta go. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, too, she looks just like, my mom looks just like Cicely Tyson.
Cicely Tyson was a Iroquois high priestess.
Now, we're at Iroquois. That's like Northeast, right?
Well, it's hard to say now because everybody went to fight in the Seminole Wars. So we all got mixed up. That's why they called us Seminoles, because all of the tribes was mixed down there. You got motherfuckers from the Tonga Islands, from the Polynesian Islands, from Venezuela, from Brazil, all the way from Canada, from Alaska, the Inuits, all sending people to fight the Seminole Wars. We had so much concentrated force in Florida. When they did the Louisiana Purchase, Lewis and Clark Expedition declared the land as being abandoned. That's what made them institute squatters' rights under the Protectorate Agreement in order to occupy the land until the rightful heirs reclaimed it. That's what they did. That's what all that whole. That's what the whole story is about, Lois and Clark.
Damn.
Which is also the story of Superman and Lois, because his name is Clark Kent.
Lois Lane.
Lois and Clark.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now look, Lois is the lane. That's the road, the path. Clark is the Kent. Kent is the bank. Right? The bank name is actually Old Kent Bank. But he ain't the rightful heir because he's not one of the Earthborn. Go back and review the story again. It got a different meaning.
That's wild.
I love me some Chief Warhorse.
I was about to say Chief Warhorse is that guy.
Yeah, her. She ain't for no games.
Oh, you know how I'm thinking about? Nothing. Go ahead. I know you're talking about though.
Yeah, she got the
details in.
Right, because she started telling you about the paper genocide with the with the Trail of Tears and the Dawes Road Indians that they used to replace us on the reservations.
Okay, can you see this one? Nah, you probably can't. I'm gonna read it to you.
What about when the solar flares happens?
Won't everything be destroyed anyways? What's the point in saving the system?
Look, everything not gonna be destroyed.
The
solar flares is activating what was considered as junk DNA. The data was blocked out by a light lock. As we reclaim Earth, the light lock breaks free to allow the higher UVB rays to come in and activate the junk DNA, which will restore. Some of us will get total recall. I don't have total recall yet, but I got recall like a motherfucker. It's just not total recall.
That's wild. Okay, so this was him and Dr. G's last slide. Okay,
I'm gonna tell y'all who is breaking down the solar rays. And y'all can tag him in the video. Is Kalai. Brother Kalai is the one who is explaining the UVB rays. I got a video on YouTube where he go through all of that, and then I show him the mysticism from ancient Kemet that ties to what he's talking about. Right. So, to find more about the UVB rays, right? Kalai is right. That's what Big Mama got him doing.
You know what's crazy about that? I was on the live where you was just going off, and you was like, Big Mama told me I need to get in contact with somebody named Kalai. And I was like, I was already watching Kalai's page, so I was like, let me send him this guy. Like, it's just it was Amun Ra. And everybody started tagging him, and he ain't know what was going on. Right. Yeah, but it took a minute for him to observe where I was coming from before he would communicate back. Right. But once we talked, tapped into 5D.
Yeah. So once he seen where I was coming from, then he was like, "Oh, I need to talk to this brother." And then Uncle Shiz hooked it up where we could have a conversation, because a lot of people was trying to, that internet motherfucking social media fake beef shit. When motherfucker say he beefing with you, and then he tell you beefing with him, and y'all neither one of y'all don't know it. I didn't know we were supposed to be beefing. So the
So they
only way
started
that
some
I could,
drama.
right. So the best thing to do as a man is have a conversation with another man to find out if y'all really beefing.
Mm-hmm.
And when we had the conversation, he's, you know, went through the sun, melanin connection with the UVBs and all of this, the solar flares, the effect on the earth. And I got a video from a couple years ago where I'm talking about all of the Egyptian description of everything he was talking about. And so when he got done, I say, if you don't mind, I'd like to go over what you were saying and show him how it ties into the metaphysics of Egypt. So then I went over it, and then we had started having a conversation. But that's where we was chopping the game up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So y'all follow that brother Kalai, because he on point with the UVB rays and whatnot. He that's what he do.
And he really about it though too. He be walking up on police officers like he ain't got no fear in his heart.
No, look. Only reason I don't do that because I'm a little bit more extreme than he is by nature.
Mm-hmm.
If I walk up on them motherfuckers, it's not gonna turn out as smooth. We gonna have a whole different conversation, and they not gonna like it, and I'm not gonna give a fuck, which is gonna make the situation worse.
Mm-hmm.
His self-control level is to the point where he can go confront them like that and talk to them like that. My self-control level is if I want to stay away from them motherfuckers before I give it to them.
That's because you're a Scorpio, fam. That's how we get. We don't show no emotion because if we do, it's about to go the fuck up.
Yeah.
We nonchalant because if the emotions do come to the top, it's a wrap for you.
They asked about the Joe Biden Bible at the